-60 degrees, 65 days without food, 1 egg on his feet. Meet nature's most devoted father. Weeks earlier, she laid the single egg and gave it to him. The body was empty. The sea would refill it. His survival tool is not fat alone, it is feathers, and feathers only work if he maintains them constantly. The secret is a gland above his tail, natural waterproofing oil. He spreads it beakful by beakful across every feather. He is not alone. Thousands of fathers stand together, and neighbors preen each other's necks, the spots no beak reaches alone. Ice is the enemy inside the armor. Every frozen crust must come off before it steals the warmth beneath. Understand what standing here costs. He has not eaten since the sea and will not eat for 2 more months. Every day his body burns itself to heat the egg. By spring, he will weigh 40% less. Fatherhood paid in his own flesh. When the temperature dives, the fathers invent warmth. Thousands press into one living huddle, tight as feathers allow, and inside it, the air climbs above freezing while the world outside kills. No panic, no pushing, just physics, cooperation, and 10,000 eggs held safe. And here is the miracle science measured. The huddle rotates. Fathers on the frozen outer edge shuffle slowly along the wall and melt into the warm center, while warmed birds drift outward to take their turn in the wind. Perfect fairness, no referee. Then midwinter sends its masterpiece, a storm off the polar plateau, 160 kilometers an hour, a wall of white that erases the sky. The huddle tightens until 10,000 fathers become one heartbeat, and the longest night of the winter begins. It rages for 2 days. When the wind finally dies, the huddle loosens like a held breath released, and the fathers step apart into a silence you can hear. They preen the storm out of each other and count every egg still here. Deep in week 8, the egg answers him, a faint tap from inside the shell, then another. He goes utterly still, head bowed over his feet, listening to his son knocking on the door of the world. 60 days of hunger, suddenly worth everything. The hatching takes a full day of work neither can do for the other. The chick chips his own way out, tap by exhausted tap, and finally a silver-gray head, no bigger than a plum, emerges into his father's warmth. 65 days delivered. And the starving father performs his last miracle. From the lining of his own throat, he produces a rich white crop milk, a food only fathers make, and feeds his son the first meal of his life. Then he preens the tiny down dry, feather by feather. But new life draws old hunters. A South Polar skua sweeps the colony edge, a pirate built of patience, hunting exactly one thing. Chicks left uncovered for one careless second. She circles lower. The father's head rises. The scar on his flipper remembers. The dive covers 30 meters in 2 seconds. The father answers in half of one. He spins, sweeps the chick under his belly, and meets the swoop with the hardest part of a penguin, the flipper, solid bone. The pirate takes it full across the wing. Then the gentleness returns as fast as it left. He coaxes the trembling chick back into the light and preens him slowly from head to feet, each stroke saying the same thing over, over. The heartbeat under the down gradually agrees. And then, across the ice, a sound the father has carried in memory all winter. Her voice, the mother returns from 2 months at sea, sleek and full, calling through 10,000 voices and finding theirs. Emperor pairs know each other by song alone. Now the winter's most dangerous 2 seconds. The chick must cross from his feet to hers, and the ice below is instant danger for a naked hatchling. They press belly to belly, a line, and the transfer flows, 1 heartbeat of cold, then covered. The father lingers 1 moment over his son, preens the tiny head once, and turns toward the sea he has not tasted in 3 months. He walks, then drops to his belly, and toboggans, a starved king sledding home to refill himself. The mother's shift begins with a feast from the sea, delivered warm from her crop, and continues in the family trade, preening. She grooms the growing silver down piece by piece, lifting out every speck of grit the colony wind delivers daily. And across the frozen continent, the same economy runs on every coast. Albatross pairs preening each other after months apart. Adelie parents trading nest shifts. Seal mothers calling singing pups. Nothing warm-blooded survives Antarctica alone. Down here, partnership is not strategy, it is temperature. Three weeks later, a familiar song crosses the ice again. The father returns transformed. Sleek, heavy, glossy, the sea rebuilt into him, and his crop carries the family's next feast. The chick, twice the size he left, still knows the voice instantly. Everyone always does. We remember the storm that erased the sky, the skua knocked tumbling, the 2-second transfer over killing ice. But the truth of this father is quieter than any of it. It is a beak zipping feathers at midnight. It is starving and standing anyway. Next winter, the chick will stand on this same ice with an egg on his own feet and lean into a huddle and take his turn on the frozen edge without being asked. Nobody teaches it. It is simply what his father's feet remember. A father who fasted 65 days, fought a sky pirate, and fed his son from his own throat. A colony that turns 10,000 rivals into one warm heart. If this story amazed you, subscribe to Nature's Cleaners for more hidden partnerships. Tonight the huddle will form again, and the outer edge will take the wind, and somewhere in the warm middle, a silver chick will sleep on webbed feet built for exactly this. One more kingdom of ice, held together by devotion. Thank you for watching.